Hi, my name is Sam Weiss. I'm a tenured professor at the University of Calgary. I'm proud of it. So I think what I'd like to talk about are heroes. And in fact, most of the people that I share the podium with tonight are heroes. I'm a boat person, actually. And I was born in Tel Aviv about 58 years ago. I came to Halifax, Nova Scotia in 1959 by boat. Moved to Montreal very quickly, where I graduated from McGill, came to Calgary in 1978, and on and off, I've been here, both for my education and also as a faculty member at the University of Calgary. So the reason I'm at the podium, it's kind of like the World Cup. If you're part of the home team, you can play without qualifying. But I am a researcher, and I do love my job. And so I'm a seriously happy guy, which I think is good. At the University of Calgary, I direct the research at the Hotchkiss Brain Institute, where 750 scientists, physicians, trainees, and staff work together with one purpose: to learn about the brain and to do everything we can together to prevent brain and mental illness. Because we believe that this is one of the most important virtues of working collaboratively, because 1 in 3 Canadians will have a brain and mental illness in their lifetime. My own research is focused on stem cells in the adult human brain that we discovered here at the University of Calgary in 1992. These stem cells in the human brain are good on one hand because they can be stimulated to repair the damaged brain, but they have a sinister side, and that is if they have genetic mistakes in them, they can divide uncontrollably to form brain cancer. I'll come back to talking about that in a couple of minutes. What I really want to focus on, though, on the topic of heroes, is about all of you. Because at the end of the day, everybody in the community is a hero. To be a philanthropist is not necessarily because you have a lot of money. It's because you actually are concerned for other humans' well-being, and you're willing to give something, whether it's some property, the shirt off your back, and perhaps most importantly, the time that you have. I think Aesop, the famous Greek storyteller, said it best: there's no act of kindness, no matter how small, that is ever wasted. But my role in what I do has been inspired by who I believe is one of the greatest Canadian heroes. And in fact, it was this weekend where I completely changed what I was going to talk about, which was more about the work that we do at our institute. And I focused on perhaps the greatest Canadian hero, Terry Fox. So many of you were probably out running. Please, Terry Fox. I was walking along the river on the weekend, and I was a little sad because of all the trees, but I was ecstatic to see all the people who were either directing runners, helping runners, supporting runners, but mostly running for a cause. And for those of you who are under 30, which is probably at least half the folks, if not more, maybe you don't know the whole story of Terry Fox, so indulge me while I tell you. He was only 18 years old when he was diagnosed with sarcoma, which is a bone cancer. Within 6 months, they amputated one of his legs 6 inches above his knee. And this devastated his dream, which is to be a marathon runner. But during the time he was in the hospital, he didn't think about himself. He thought about all the other children that were at the hospital who were suffering from cancer. And he decided, while in the hospital, he was going to make a difference. He was going to run in what he called the Marathon for Hope. And I actually believe that what Terry Fox did is truly one of the most heroic things you could ever imagine. He began first for 2 years to run a marathon with a prosthesis every single day. He would run 26 miles, and he decided he was going to ultimately do this across the country. And his goal was to get every Canadian to give $1, ultimately to raise $20 million to support cancer research. So he started. He started in May of 1980, and over 143 days, he ran close to 5,373 kilometers, or 3,400 miles, which was on average a marathon every single day, till he was forced to stop running because the cancer started again and entered his lungs. The entire nation was stunned and saddened. 2 years later, Terry Fox died. But what he did was he raised $24 million for cancer research, and he initiated and inspired the concept of running for a cause, and ultimately, together with his mom, Betty, and his son, and his brother, Daryl, who I've met, they have raised over $650 million for cancer research. If that isn't inspiring for somebody who knew that everything he was doing was simply going to be directed towards others rather than himself, I don't know what inspiration is. I can tell you that the Terry Fox Cancer Foundation and Institute that supports the work that we do at the University of Calgary, amongst other institutions, is an incredible model because it seeks to ensure that everybody that works with that institute works collaboratively, is not interested in their own agenda. We are part of a new program that is only 2 years old, focused on brain cancer. It brings 20 scientists and their teams, over 100 researchers, between the University of British Columbia, University of Calgary, and the University of Toronto, working together. In 2 years, we've now identified 2 new medicines that are going to be tested in the next 6 months for brain cancer. This wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Terry Fox. So I think that I am privileged to be able to be part of a society, and I'll remind you that I came here as a boat person, a country like Canada, where from coast to coast, people are willing to give and do something for others rather than for themselves. I think that in the area of health, there's probably nowhere more important to see research, philanthropy, and hope come together. Because after all, as Mahatma Gandhi said, and these were words that I also spoke at the memorial for Harley Hotchkiss, another hero of mine, it is health that is real wealth, not pieces of gold and silver. Thanks for your attention.